What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well and had a good day yesterday. I know we haven't streamed for a while. Last Monday was Eid, and then Wednesday market was closed. Friday, I was like, I don't want to stream for just one day. And then now we're back on track. So streams will be continuing like regular. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is just the past week and a half has been a little bit weird. Okay, so let's talk about AIEV. So first thing first, I just took a trade on this one, and I took a $700 loss here, just trading, scalping. So I was looking at 275. So here's a candle that had the most volume and also made a new high. So I knew what I was getting into. And the reason why this one was a little bit riskier was because of how the candle closed, right? We have a lot of selling pressure here compared to a candle close like this one, where we don't have much selling pressure and it's just pure strength, right? So this candle close had a lot of selling pressure. So holding this area is not going to be as easy, and it's going to be a lot of liquidity hunting in order to get that bigger move. So it's not as clean of a trade, but once 275 does reclaim with strength, we have room back up to 3 and then 333. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at. 275 is that level here for us. If 275 fails, I think we start to target back to 226. But it all depends on how 275 holds up now. So we were holding it as support, kind of, and then now we broke below it. So if it turns into resistance, then no trade for me. But if it breaks out to like 296, pulls back into 275, I think that's beautiful. And that's a great trade. Okay. So that's the plan on AIEV. That's just something what we're looking at. Let's talk about WENA. So I made a few grand here on WENA this morning. And my entry was based off the 10-minute right here. So now what I'm going to talk about is the same thing. So the candle that I traded this previous stock on, AIEV, it was this same exact candle, right? Big pop, strong candle close, and then a nice move up. Okay, so I traded this protected candle, this candle with high volume. Same thing you guys can see here. But the only difference in this one was the way that the candle closed. Okay, the candle close had a lot of weakness here versus WENA on the 10-minute didn't have a lot of weakness. And then we broke down, grabbed liquidity, held up, reclaimed 285. You see that with super low selling pressure. Only 265K selling pressure here compared to 800K volume, 500K volume, a million share volume. Right, so this was the lowest selling pressure volume on the day, the lowest volume on the day on average. So that gave us exactly what we needed. And I took an entry here, panned out pretty nicely, and I took another entry, scaled off most here at new highs. And then after this structure held, I took another entry. So what are we looking at now? Well, I didn't expect WENA to run right now, but we're going to be looking at the candles that made new highs, right? The candles with new structures. So 360 is the level that has the most recent break of structure, along with this 395, but this 410, $4, but I don't want to take it off this 4, it's too high. If it comes down to 360, worth watching. If it comes down to 325, worth watching. Why is 325 worth watching? We opened here at 350, okay? This was the candle that was over the structure. We pulled back into 324 and then reclaimed. So all this is a liquidity grab for this move up. So once we reset, the reset on the stock, right? So this whole run is happening based off of this liquidity grab, okay? So once the stock needs to reset, it's not going to stop anywhere except down here. And then we're going to see how buying pressure steps in. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Are you guys understanding what's going on? Let's see. Let me know in chat. Are you catching up to speed so far? Understanding how I caught WENA, what the plan is? So once again, what we're looking for here is 360 pullbacks. We reset into this area. And then until then, it's probably a no buy for me. But if you do look at the weekly, the reason why, one of the reasons why I did hold so much was typically what you see is after a stock hits new all-time low, if it gets scooped up, it makes an incredible run. We've seen that a lot. So same thing with this on the 4-hour. I think it made a new low yesterday. Yeah, it made a new low right here and picked up all the liquidity and grabbed it. So now I think that WENA is going to hit 556 today. And doesn't matter right now, in the next 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I do not have a position, but I do think WENA is targeting this 556 before making that move down. Right, because we grabbed all the liquidity that they needed. Now you know, just based off of level to level trading, that once we grab all the liquidity that we need, it's hard to take entries here. But once you do, you can play pullbacks into this 556 price target, right? So that we know price is going to gravitate towards this level. Okay. And what it seems like to me right now, at least, is that they want to run it in pre-market, top it out, and then dump it all day. Because if the market makers wanted to make it run in market open, then they would have, consolidated it here rather than let it run up. All right, OPTX. Now let's go over this. So I traded this in chat here, and this one did not work out, but I still think that this one has a lot of potential. So once again, we go based off of market structure, okay? So market structure, this is the candle that made the new high, okay? So nasty rejection here on OPTX. Against previous structure, interesting, okay. All right, so OPTX. So the first trade entry I took was I think around like 750s. Okay, so what I saw here at the time was a tap of this liquidity grab, right? Tap of the 8 a.m. candle coming close to this 666. But what happened was they didn't actually grab liquidity. It didn't actually touch it. So my entry was based off of thinking that they grabbed the liquidity. It was a misread right there. And then after that liquidity grab, I was expecting a move back to 795 and then 890 just based off of market structure holding. Okay. But then after I took my entry here, 740, 750s, the issue was that, I was wrong and they didn't grab the liquidity. So they pushed it down to 666, grab liquidity, and then set it up. So now OPTX looks a lot more ready for that move to 890. So is it ready right now? Right now? No, I don't think so. I think it needs a little bit more time. But it is a setup to watch. Now 10 minutes. So now you see this structure is holding, this structure is holding. Next thing I would want to see is 736 hold. Just this area right here. All right, this is the candle that had a nice move before the drawdown. The only issue about OPTX, once again, is there are a lot of sellers up here. So it takes a lot of time to generate liquidity for market makers to be able to get to that 890. Okay. Takes a lot of time to get to that 890. So there's gonna be a lot of bullshit chop like this, right? Before getting to that move. So is this the A plus setup? Probably not. But can it go nuts? Yes. So it's all about how much the market makers have accumulated. We don't know any of what they're doing, right? So we have to go based off of what the stock is showing us. So once it shows us strength, and then we can take pullbacks, right? We could add pullbacks. But as long as 666 is holding, as long as this area is holding, this is, like 697 is where I'd be looking for dip ads if I was. I'm probably closer to like 690. But not a huge fan out the gates. I mean, it's not bad. So it's more so of a watch. I'm not trying to take an entry. But if this is the only stock that is running into open, if this is the only stock that gets a pop, I will trade the pullback. Okay. MLGO. So I have this zone from last night. I did a session. I recorded a video for premium members. And we went over MLGO. And this is the same exact zone that it's holding. So once again, if you look at high volume protected candles on MLGO 1 hour chart, I'm using the 1 hour because there's a lot of noise. The 5 minute, I can't really explain what's going on here. There's too much noise. So you go to the 1 hour. This is where the high volume candle is, obviously. The highest volume, along with a candle that made new highs, along with no selling pressure on this candle. Right? So now into open, this is exactly what's holding. So that just proves our thesis of protected candles and new market structure. So this is holding. This is, it's what's making the move. And now MLGO is breaking out of this downtrend. Sort of like right here. So here's what we're looking at on the smaller time frame right now. If you do want to fix it up a little bit, we could do this to be precise. But yeah, something like this. So we're holding this zone. We're probably, let's see how it reacts against this market structure. Okay. We're going to see how it reacts against this market structure. So we haven't broken over it yet on 1773, which is actually good. So if you want to see a bigger breakout, you want to see consolidation under structure, because if they break it, if they break 1773 right now, they can grab the liquidity up here for the move down. But if it keeps building under 1773, this is gems right here. If you're building under 1773, you haven't grabbed liquidity up here, and you grab all the liquidity down here, you have to bust through. All that's gonna bust through this and then make that move higher and grab liquidity over new structure. Okay? So if they grab liquidity over 1773 right now, the move is probably done. Right? But if you OPTX run. But if it doesn't break 1773, then it's gonna consolidate. I'll probably hold VWAP. Let's see where it can pull back. I would say this zone right here. This was a lot of selling pressure. So on MLGO, I'd be looking at $15 ads. I see that a lot of selling pressure caused a big move down. This is where we want to see buyers step in. So if we hold 1504, maybe not even down here like VWAP, 1504 or VWAP around these two areas, we should be able to break 1773. But it all depends. It all depends on if there's a break of 1773 before or after. So if 1773 breaks right now, then they're going to target 1504. But if it doesn't break 1773, then they're probably going to target VWAP, consolidate it for the breakout of 1773, and actually make a higher move. Okay? I know I kind of rambled there, just trying to put all what I understand here into words. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Does this make sense to you guys? Let me know in chat. I know it's a little bit kind of just trying to get my thoughts out there. So if 1773 breaks, it's not even just about this play, it's in general. This is a very general gem right here, that a rule of thumb that if you break a structure, there's liquidity sitting over this structure, meaning there's buyers sitting here for the breakout. There's sellers sitting here for, selling into resistance. There's so many orders here to where it's going to be easy grab for a move down. But because we haven't broken 1779 or that 1770 structure, there it's going to be building pressure to break that. Okay, so I hope that's clear. What else is there? RGS. We went over OPTX. We went over WENA. We went over. Oh, AIEV is starting to look better. You know what? AIEV probably looks the best to me right now. And it has the same exact chart. Oh, wow. What does this have the same exact chart as? Let me know. What do you guys see? What did we just go over? This has the same exact chart as what? It made a new low, grab liquidity, and targeted 5. WENA. It has the same exact chart as WENA. It has the same chart as WENA. So WENA is going to hit probably that 556 line. Oh, okay. Perfect thesis here now. It just came to my mind. So WENA running into market open, right? We have about 20 minutes left. Within these 20 minutes, I would expect it to hit 520, 550 maybe, but kind of top out here before market open, grab liquidity into open, and then dump it all day. And then with AIEV setting up, AIEV is the one that runs into open. That's just what I'm assuming. But that does sound like a pretty valid and clear plan that I could get around. Let's see how this 275 holds up. So far it's been a liquidity grab. We'll see how it reclaims. Once we reclaim 275, like I said, we have room back to 293, and then looking at that 4-hour chart, you guys can see we have the same chart. We have room back to $4. So yeah, watching pullbacks here on AIEV. Just chilling here watching the chart. Let's see. I think we dip a little bit. Try to consolidate here, 260s, and then break out. Or maybe they strictly save it for open. What do you guys think? What do you guys think runs into open? So you guys know my plan, right? We're looking at AIEV for the open probably with with WENA topping out here towards 550s. What do you guys think? What's your pre-market plan? YouTube, Discord, let me know. What are you guys thinking? All right, so we have some people AEV sitting on AIEV only watch. Okay. I'll pull back to run up. Let's see. Nothing is guaranteed, right? So we're all just watching the market. It's all speculation until something something takes the volume, and then after something takes the volume, then we look for volume rotation. Um, but yeah, so right now 275 structure is rejecting. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So what I do see here, okay, what I see here is an inverse head and shoulders forming. I was just analyzing it in my head. So we have the protected candle here. We have an attempt of a low here, break below, grab liquidity, and then make an inverse head and shoulder. So we have the shoulder, head, shoulder. Okay. And the thing about this green candle, it did not break this structure. It did not break this high. So they did not grab the liquidity. So for me, I still think they're building up liquidity here on AIEV to reclaim 275 and make that move. So let's see how this inverse head and shoulders holds, and then potentially get that move. So let's see. Where's the downtrend line? Just looking around the board, seeing what's up. BLCN getting some volume. Interesting. I think OPTT is going to get new highs, but then reject. You see how this is the candle that made new highs, but then after that, there's really, it feels like a forced push to me to grab liquidity up here. I don't know, but it could bust through and then play pullbacks off of the previous high, but it seems pretty forced to me. This looks like a forced run up. We'll see. Because based off market structure, there's no really candle that I can go based off of except 15.5. So really no entry here for me. All right, now for VLCN, I know a lot of people are probably looking at VLCN too. I had this on my phone, but for this stock on VLCN, you want to see 862 reclaim. You guys can see why I put that line, highest volume, candle that broke out of this structure, made a new high. The only issue is that we have a lot of sellers. So we need to push at 953, pull back into 862. Not something like $9 rejection and then buy the dip. We need a strong candle close into like nines and then pull back into 862. Right now it does look like it's setting up for a nice move. We grab liquidity up here. Over here we did not. So as long as it can build into this and make that pop, and then we can play that pullback. But it does look like it's trying to build into it right now. We didn't break it, so they didn't grab liquidity. But no position here for me. I'm not taking it either right now. It's too premature. It's too risky. Anything can happen. It can pop. Cool. It can dump too. So it's just a 50-50 trade. And it doesn't make sense to take it right now. Right? You want to wait for a bigger move and then pull back. So they just grabbed that 862 liquidity right now. It wasn't bad, right? It wasn't terrible. So maybe what market makers are trying to do is test the level, see what's going on. But you guys can see there's so much that goes into trading and understanding of levels and understanding liquidity and understanding how market makers have to build positions and algorithms build positions rather than just buy and sell like us. And I hope that's what you're learning from here. All right, AIV is holding this level. All right, everybody. So I'm gonna go to the Discord now. You guys know my top watch, AIEV. Watching this one to reclaim. Hold this inverse head and shoulders. Reclaim 275, and then you guys know on the 4-hour we have a lot of room to run. So that being said, we have room till 416. Okay. So probably what's gonna happen is that WENA within the next 10-15 minutes, even after market opens, is gonna top out at this 56. You guys can take trades and target this 556. I think it's gonna end up hitting it, grab liquidity, and then dump. And then that volume is going to rotate into AIEV. So until WENA hits 555, I don't think it's done, and that volume will stay in here before market makers rotate to AIEV. So, yeah, that's my plan. I'll see you all on Friday. Other than that, if you guys want to come live trade with me right now for free, there's a top link in the description, or type in the link right here, mm.co/7days. Come trade with me for free. If you guys enjoy the vibes, enjoy the education, stay. If you don't, then you don't have to stay. But check it out, give it a try. If you like it, nothing can go wrong. So other than that, it's been Minnie. I'll see you all on Friday. Peace.